Hey y'all, it's Chels with Cooking with Chels, and today we are cooking with Kroger and we're making chicken and bacon tortellini pasta. I love tortellini. It's so comforting and it's one of my favorite types of pasta. So today we're just gonna make a comfort meal and it's gonna be delicious. So let's get into it. All right, you guys, next we are going to start prepping our chicken. So now that it is clean, these are the best type of knives for cutting chicken. It slides right through the fat. So I love to cut some of the fat off of the chicken. That way it's not just sitting in your sauce or sitting in your meals. It is good to keep some of the fat because it holds flavor really well, but sometimes the fat will like curdle up in your dishes and you don't want that. So the seasonings that I'm going to use, this is one of my new favorite seasonings. This caramelized onion butter from Kinder's is chef's kiss. It is so good. And make sure you are seasoning generously, okay? You want your food to taste good. And in order for it to taste good, you gotta season it well. It's already smelling really, really good, you guys. The seasonings are perfect. So we're just gonna add a little bit of olive oil to act as a binder for the chicken. And we're just going to make sure that everything is incorporated and well combined. This is what your chicken should look like, okay? It is nice and seasoned. It has seasonings on the front, on the back, and it is well combined. All the food that you are cooking is well seasoned, okay? We don't want any bland food over here. So next we're gonna add a half a pack of this ranch seasoning to the chicken. This is also gonna elevate the flavor, and this has salt in it as well. So just start with half of the pack first, and then you can add more to the sauce if needed. So next we're going to prep our veggies. And so one really important thing to note when you are cooking, prep everything first, okay? I have my chicken, it's marinating, it's set off to the side. And next I'm gonna go ahead and prep everything I need for the rest of my dish because when I get going, once I start cooking, I just want it to flow. So one thing that helps you in the kitchen is just making sure that you're prepping first. So let's get into it. So I'm going to use about a head, if not a head and a half of broccoli. And then I also have some parsley here that I'm going to use. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean it all up to make sure that I have everything I need once I start cooking. So it's better to have it prepped than to have to prep it afterwards. So we're just gonna go ahead and get it out of the way. Vinegar is my favorite item to use when I am cleaning my meats, my fruits, and my veggies. So if you don't have any vinegar in your kitchen, you definitely need white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. So I'm just cutting up my broccoli. I'm gonna cut it into smaller pieces, but I just wanna go ahead and get it off of the stem. That way I can make sure that it is clean throughout. Next, we're gonna dice up about half of an onion. You wanna make sure that you're dicing it up really, really small. You don't want big chunks of the onion in your sauce. You just want it for the flavor. So a trick to dicing up your onions, you wanna make sure that you cut it in half and lay it on a flat surface. And then you're just gonna cut some slits long ways. Take your knife, go through the middle, and then cut your onions. So now you have good bite-sized pieces. You can make them however big or small. But again, we want it to be small because it's going in the sauce. All right, you guys, I have everything that I need prepped. I have my chicken, I have my broccoli cut up, and I have my onion. So first we are going to start by cooking the bacon because we want some of that bacon oil to cook our chicken. So let's head on over to the stove. All right, you guys, I'm gonna cook down my bacon. I'm gonna use about 5 to 6 pieces of some thick cut bacon. It's gonna pair really, really well with the dish. You don't need to add, or I don't like to add any oil when I'm cooking my bacon. When it renders down, there is enough oil left over. So you don't really need to add any oil to your bacon. You can just cook it as is. Even now you can kind of see how wet the bacon is. It's about to start releasing some of that oil here in just a second. So we're gonna let that cook down until it's nice and crispy, and then we're gonna remove the bacon from the pan and we'll get started on our chicken. All right, you guys, now that our bacon is nice and crispy, we are going to remove it from the pan, and you're just gonna put it on a plate with a paper towel. That way you can get off all of that excess oil. So we have some oil left over in the pan. I'm just gonna take a paper towel and remove some of these burnt bits from the pan because I am gonna cook my chicken in this, but I don't want all of these burnt pieces. All right, you guys, now we're gonna add our chicken thighs to the pan and we're gonna let these cook. They'll cook for about 5 to 7 minutes on each side. I also have my temperature on medium. You can do medium to medium low. You don't want to cook everything on high. So just make sure you're turning your eye down. This is not a race, okay? Turn the eye down and let your chicken cook through. Let's flip this chicken over. You just want it to have a nice color. You don't need it to be blackened or anything. We're putting it in the pasta. You just want it to cook down and have a nice pretty color. I'm gonna take a half a cup of chicken broth and I'm going to add it to the chicken. I want it to steam down a little bit and I'm gonna cover it with a lid so it can cook through. You don't need a lot, you just need enough for the chicken to be able to steam. Our chicken should be done. It has been simmering for about 5 to 7 minutes now. I'm just gonna remove it from the pan. It's cooked through and we're just gonna set it aside and then we're gonna start on our veggies. We are going to use the same pan that we just took our chicken out of and we are gonna add the diced onion. And we're also gonna add in our broccoli. And so since we added that chicken broth to the pan, it has a little bit of liquid in it still. And so that's gonna help our broccoli steam and cook down. And of course, to build on our flavor, we are gonna add in some garlic paste. We are going to cover that and we're gonna let it cook on low. All right, you guys, we're gonna add in another about half a cup of chicken broth just to make sure that that broccoli is steaming. And then we are also going to add in a little bit more of our ranch seasoning here. So the point is to just build on the flavor. You just want to do a little bit at a time. Now we are going to start on our cheese. And so I have a block of pepper jack and a block of mozzarella. These are both 8-ounce blocks. I'm going to shred about half for now. If I need more, I'll shred more. But for now, I'm just going to use a little bit of both. So I always love to shred my own cheese. It doesn't have that film on it that the pre-shredded cheese has. So if you can, just make sure you take out the time to shred your own cheese. So my broccoli is cooked down. It is nice and soft. So I'm just gonna remove it from the pan and I'm gonna add it to a separate bowl and then we're gonna start on our sauce. You want to keep the drippings that are in the pan because we are going to use this liquid as well. So when I am making any kind of soup, pasta, or smothered dish, I love to use the same pan for everything and keep the flavor if I can. It just elevates your dish. Next up, we're going to start building our sauce. I have 16 fluid ounces of some heavy whipping cream, and I also have 1 block of cream cheese. This is 8 ounces as well. Next then, we're gonna add in our block of cream cheese. You guys, my stove, again, is on low. So you just wanna make sure that you are cooking your sauce on low. That's very important because you don't wanna break your sauce. Breaking the sauce is when your oils and your cheese, they start to separate and it starts to curdle. So just make sure that you are actually cooking it on low so it can melt and combine together. You also wanna remove, if you do have a lot of oil in your pan still from whatever you're cooking, try and remove a lot of that oil as well. But when you're making your sauce, just make sure you're cooking it on low. All right, you guys, we're gonna start on our pasta. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that boiling. I'm also gonna add in some chicken bouillon. It's gonna give your pasta some extra flavor. I'm gonna add a little more heavy whipping cream to my sauce. I just want it to be really, really creamy and delicious. So we're gonna add about another 8 ounces to the sauce. All right, you guys, I know the sauce is looking really good, but we still have more cheese to add because you can never have enough cheese. So the cheese is melting down really, really good, that cream cheese. And so right now my sauce it's really saucy, but it has a good silky consistency. So we want to keep that. So again, remember, keep that eye on low. So we're just going to sprinkle in more of that mozzarella and pepper jack cheese. So we're going to let this melt on low, and it should turn out really good. So now it's time to season our sauce. I'm gonna taste it because cheese sometimes has a little bit of a salty flavor to it. Also, everything that we built the sauce on, the chicken broth, the chicken, the bacon, that had salt in it as well. So let's just taste for flavor for now, and then we're gonna add some seasoning to the sauce. Look at that cheese pool. It's actually really good. I'm gonna add a little bit to it, but it doesn't need much. Because everything needs a little bit of heat. Next up, we're gonna start cutting up our protein into bite-sized pieces so we can add it to our sauce. And don't worry about me using my hands, you guys. This is my food, okay? But if I was cooking for a group of people other than me and my family, then I would put some gloves on. But right now, we in the Williams household, we all right. Because people be scared when you use your hands. Now we're gonna add our chicken and our bacon to our sauce. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Perfect. Next up is our broccoli. Ooh, this looks so good. We're gonna chop up some fresh parsley. We're gonna add that to the dish. It's just gonna elevate the flavor with a nice herb flavor. Well, this should be good. This is enough for the meal. I don't need a lot. I just want a little bit for an herb flavor. Next up, we're gonna drop our tortellini. The water is boiling, and so you're just gonna cook your tortellini according to the package. I really like this Kroger tortellini. It has a reusable seal on it, so this is perfect. Ooh. Now it's time to add our tortellini to the sauce. Oh, wait. This looks fire. And to top it off, some fresh parsley. Ooh. This looks so good, y'all. I gotta get the perfect bite. A little bit of broccoli and a little bit of chicken and a nice piece of bacon. First bite's for you. This is a 10 out of 10. This is so good. Oh my gosh, all the flavors, the cheese, the bacon, the chicken, it came together so perfect. This is so delicious. Y'all gotta try this one out.